Fallon welcomes Julianne Moore.
The banker knows the best players are fearless. This challenge is not for the faint of heart.
What kind of sick mind thought of this game?
I came up with a plan to cause a little paranoia around camp.
I don't want to play anyone's game. Blindside her on the spot.
Is she hustling us?
You will be leaving the game tonight.
This is some of my best work to date.
Deal or No Deal Island, next Monday on NBC and Peacock.
And with pets, I thought it would be better to go ahead and bring the cat with me and inform her about that after the fact.
There were 3 cat litter boxes filled with cat waste.
Hot Bench. Tuesday afternoon at 3. Wyoming News Now starts now.
Good evening. You're watching Wyoming News Now at 10. I'm Aiden Greco, and as always, thank you for joining us tonight. 2 teenagers are arrested following a robbery at C-Mart Smoke Shop on Delrange Boulevard in Cheyenne last weekend. According to a press release sent out by Cheyenne police, a 16-year-old was wearing a ski mask, a backpack, and approached the cash register inside the C-Mart. He walked behind the counter, pulled out a knife, and began to shout at an employee to place cash, cigarettes, and other vape devices in his backpack, and then he left the shop. The suspect was found and later booked into the Laramie County Juvenile Detention Center for robbery with threat of injury and conspiracy. According to the Cheyenne Police Department, another teenager, a 15-year-old male from Cheyenne, was also arrested for conspiracy in this case. Through the investigation, detectives learned that the 2 boys planned the robbery together. On Sunday night, the Casper Police Department responded to a shooting call in the 3800 block of East 2nd Street. According to Casper Police, an 18-year-old male suffered a gunshot wound and was transported to Banner, Wyoming Medical Center. When officers arrived on scene, they set up a perimeter and started interviewing those who were there at the time. The interviews included restaurant patrons, employees, the victim himself, and the shooter. Blood was observed outside of the building, and witnesses said that it was an accidental discharge of the gun that resulted in the shooting of the 18-year-old male in a vehicle. At this time, the incident appears to be the result of unsafe handling of a firearm. We did get confirmation today from Casper Police that the 18-year-old who was shot is in stable condition at Banner, Wyoming Medical Center. The beginning of March is feeling cooler than the end of February, naturally. So what's coming up? Ashley Morgan is tracking it all. Ashley?
Well, it is cold out there, I'll tell you that much. And now for folks in the Nebraska Panhandle, I'm sorry, but you're dealing with some pretty heavy snow right now. We'll talk about that here in a little bit, but let's take a look at our Lennox Auto Body Sky Cam over Cheyenne. You can see not a bad day today. We did have a lot of cloud cover over the area, and then early in the afternoon we had some snow showers move on through. Temperatures today, we were into the 30s and 40s for the most part. We got the 39 in Cheyenne, 30 in Rawlins, 38 in Casper. Unfortunately, though, in western Wyoming, we didn't even make it into the 30s. We saw 20s from Rock Springs to Big Piney, so it's pretty chilly out there today. Now, for our high, we are a couple of degrees above normal for this time of year, but our low, we're right around where we should be. Heading to Casper, we're a couple of degrees below normal. Lows are pretty typical for this time of year. Riverton, we are definitely below normal for this time of year. And Scotts Bluff, you guys are pretty much the lucky ones. We're pretty much near normal for this time of year for our high temperatures. And our low, though, is going to be well below normal for this time of year. And you can see that snow showing up on radar, and really, this is kind of the scene that we're seeing here. It is February, but it's March, but it's feeling a lot like February.
Yeah, Ashley, well, that wind is just relentless in some places, and it keeps messing up my hair, so I would like it to stop. So if you could use that little clicker and turn off the wind, that would be great.
We're in Wyoming, that's not going to happen.
Man, worth a shot. Thanks, Ashley. The U.S. Supreme Court is ruling unanimously in favor of former President Donald Trump on Monday. This overturns the Colorado primary ballot exclusion lawsuit and sets the precedent for the other states that looked to follow suit. The plaintiff, heard by the Supreme Court, sought to apply the 14th Amendment's insurrectionist clause. claiming Trump's alleged involvement and presence in the January 6th Capitol riot filled those parameters. Wyoming Secretary of State Chuck Gray spoke out in February in support of Trump, stating to pick and choose who we leave on or take off the primary ballots based on political preference is unconstitutional and undemocratic.
Just very thrilled that we got good resolution in this case, and President Trump is going to remain on the ballot. And this is just outrageously wrong what the left was trying to do. So the truth won out here today.
The court's decision lands the day before Super Tuesday, a day when 16 states and territories will be holding presidential primaries or other caucuses. Maine's election officials have already restored Donald Trump to the state's 2024 ballot. The Governor's Capitol Art Exhibition is a biannual display highlighting contemporary artists all across Wyoming. The exhibit is organized by the Wyoming State Museum and Wyoming Arts Council. Now this year's 50 works by 46 different artists are featured in the Wyoming State Capitol extension. All the pieces on display are also for sale. They can be purchased by scanning a QR code.
This exhibit is really great because it does reflect artists from all over the state. Every corner of the state is represented here. In fact, over 46 artists have pieces in the show today, and it's a great way to bring all that together. People can kind of see what artists are making, right now in 2024 in Wyoming.
The exhibit is open at the Capitol on Monday through Fridays from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. That runs through August the 10th. There's only one more week left in the legislative session, and lawmakers have their hands full with several hot topic bills. Our state reporter Valeria Fugate breaks it all down.
Kicking off the fourth week of the budget session, lawmakers look at their place in healthcare decisions and what constitutes safety. The House Judiciary Committee heard Chloe's Law on Monday morning. It's a bill that would make it illegal for Wyoming doctors to help minors with gender transition or reassignment. The committee heard public testimony, but the bill was held back for the afternoon session. Lawmakers weighed in on whether government should be coming in between doctors and patients' medical decisions.
We're certainly inserting ourselves into this discussion. The question is whether it's warranted or not, and that's a decision that the committee will have to make. And so if you characterize this type of issue as a form of child abuse, then it is a proper role of government to be inserting in there.
Continuing on health care, the regulation of surgical abortions is headed for concurrence. Both houses have given it the green light, and it's expected to hit the governor's desk shortly.
This is a bad foray for the state of Wyoming to actually start saying, all right, this is how you will provide health care. We don't direct doctors on how to perform their medicine and their practice, because candidly we don't know enough to do so.
The House Judiciary Committee also passed the Wyoming Second Amendment Financial Privacy Bill. It prevents the use of a merchant category code to track or deny gun and ammunition purchases.
People's financial privacy is important, and so if you're going to go to a shop, and it doesn't matter where you go to purchase, you should have a level of a discrete level of privacy to your purchases, and people shouldn't be looking over your shoulder to decide what you can and can't use your credit card to purchase.
Finally, the repeal gun-free zones and preemption amendments were heard in the Senate Judiciary. This would allow for concealed carry in government and school zones. Yet critics are concerned that folks with mental health issues could still apply for concealed carry.
Well, they have to go through a vetting process to get a concealed carry permit. You go through a background check, Sheriff's Department checks your criminal history, and it's a very intensive process. Those types of things are certainly important issues that should be discussed separately. We're talking about a constitutional right that Americans have to keep and bear arms, and a gun-free zone sign violates that constitutional right.
Monday is the last day for committees to pass out legislation in their second house. I'm Valeria Fugate, Wyoming News Now.
Thank you, Valeria. This is the last week of the budget session. As the bills move towards the governor's desk, remember the governor still has the ability to veto or line veto elements of these bills if they pass.
Let's start this year with a bang.
Weekdays at 11.
Care Center is so valuable to my mom because of the care that she needs.
I needed something special, and they were willing to take me on and give me what I needed to get me to where I am today.
The peace of mind for my wife and I to have that help from my mom in here is amazing.
It's hard to imagine life without the care center, how the family would take care of us.
You know, when you come to work, you fall in love with the idea of what we do here, how we can make a difference, and there's nothing else I can compare it to.
Their food is good. I have a nice room and a nice roommate, so it's a nice family to be with.
The care center is a great place to live. People are kind, people are thoughtful. It makes people happy, and it makes me happy too.
What? What's that? Corned beef? Ooh, melty stuff. Sauerkraut? Plus Thousand Island? On special bread? Oh, got it. That's Arby's Reuben. Arby's, we have the meat.
Last week, Jimmy had the return of... This week, there's John Cena, Naomi Campbell, Ricky Martin, Savannah Guthrie, and Hoda Kotb. And tonight, Julianne Moore and Lindsay Lohan. New Tonight Show this week on NBC.
They say those who can't teach, and they're right. Those who can't ignore a child's burning curiosity about the world. Those who can't allow a single kid to quietly slip through the cracks. Those who can't let children be bullied into feeling like they're worthless. Those who can't allow the great works of literature to collect dust. Those who can't leave history in the past. Those who can't sit idly by when there's a calling to do something that's much more than a job.
More than 150 companies and organizations have added their support for teachers by becoming Teachers Can partners. Add your voice and show your support at teacherscan.org. Because those who can't give up on the future, teach.
As the old joke goes, why did the turkey cross the road? Right? Or maybe it's chicken. Either way, if you live in Natrona County, you've probably noticed the amount of wild turkeys that have delayed travel, been hit by cars, or have just been causing havoc in backyards. The Wyoming Game and Fish Department says that they had a successful winter season trapping these troublesome wild turkeys.
We had a pretty good, successful season trapping. It was more difficult than I would have liked it to be, but the warm weather, we just had a hard time getting their birds to go under the trap. But we still ended up catching 138 birds around town and in the county.
Now, don't you worry. Out of the 138 wild turkeys captured, none of them sustained any injuries. The Game and Fish Department selects an area for trapping locations by getting calls from the public, where they continuously see dozens of wild turkeys. They'll put bait, such as cracked corn, underneath a big old 60-foot by 60-foot net, waiting for the birds to get comfortable enough underneath, and then they remotely drop it, like you're seeing right there. Once the wild turkeys are captured, they're then placed in turkey boxes, developed by, get this, the National Wild Turkey Federation, and then hauled off to their new home. Then they're all released at once in their sanctuary, which is good for the birds because they'll have a familiarity with each other, and they can safely gather together again out of harm's way. The Game and Fish Department have officially stopped wild turkey trapping for the year, though, with spring right around the corner.
As the temperatures get warmer, trapping them can add added stress to them, and we don't want them to overheat. And also, they're setting up social hierarchies this time of year because the breeding season's right around the corner, and we don't want to disrupt that.
Turkey boxes. The Wyoming Game and Fish Department would like to remind everyone that feeding wild turkeys is now against the law in Casper. The amendment was passed by Casper City Council last August. The Laramie County Conservation District is finishing up a larger project that includes construction of a fishing pond and wetland facility. This facility and pond is located behind the Conservation District's office in the Cheyenne Business Parkway's natural area. The Conservation District says in fall, the pond will be stocked with fish and will be able to fish in by next year. Jeff Geyer, a water specialist at the Conservation District, says bringing a pond to this area reminds him of his childhood.
I think back to when I was a kid, and that's probably what
kind of spurred this on a little bit is, you know, when I was a kid, 10, 11, 12 years old, I rode my bike down to the local fishing hole. And so this being so close to Saddle Ridge and the other developments, this will give those guys an opportunity to catch a fish.
And according to the Conservation District, this will be the only pond in the southeast corner of Cheyenne. A student from Natrona County shines at the Science Regional Bowl. Our Shagun Bamidele has more.
Kelly Walsh High School and CY Middle School students recently triumphed in the Regional Science Bowl, securing their spots to represent Natrona County at the national competition.
This year, I think there were about 9 teams competing in the middle school division, and CY came out on top and won. And for high school, there were, I believe, 10, maybe it was 9 as well, teams competing, and Kelly Walsh won as well.
Teachers who led both schools to victory says the students have been outstanding with the way they studied and handled themselves in the competition.
I'm really proud of the kids, but they worked really hard too, so it's nice that they got to win and partake in that reward because it was really fun. They worked really hard and did a good job, so I'm proud of them.
And just practicing with them and seeing them compete last year, I had a really good feeling that they would do well, but you never know until the actual competition happens, and the Kelly Walsh team definitely met and exceeded my expectations.
Students who took part in the competition say they are excited to represent their school and family on the national stage and are looking forward to win the competition.
I feel good that I was able to represent the school in a good way, show that we have some strength and that we're not just these little dogs.
I think it is very, very cool to representing basically the state, your school and whatnot, and especially being at such a young age to where that would be quite interesting.
Last year we also won and went to nationals, and I think winning this time made me excited because I want to go back and see if I could study hard to improve that and also just have a better time overall.
Nationals will be held in Washington, D.C. on April 24th to the 29th. In Casper, Shagun Bamidele, Wyoming News Now.
Laramie County Community College is bringing a nationally renowned brand expert to campus this week. On March 7th, Amanda Brinkman, host of Small Business Revolution, will be speaking at the Serberg Prentice Auditorium. Now, according to L Tripp, Brinkman is known for her innovative approach to branding and marketing. In part of L Triple-C's Cultural and Community Enrichment Series, this event is expected to be a highlight. Carol Boughton says that as Wyoming is attracting new businesses, Brinkman's knowledge will support their futures.
She'll be bringing all of her skills and knowledge base to LCCC free to the community, which gives us an opportunity to share those messages with students, with community, with business owners, with entrepreneurs, with people who are interested in learning more about how we can revitalize and build our economic base and tourism downtown, in addition to how to build branding and marketing and brand awareness.
The event is free and is at 6 p.m. Again, that's on March 7th.
Says I need a turkey box and more weather after the break.
Did you know half of all cats in the United States don't see a vet on a regular basis? Hi, I'm Kat Dennings and I love cats. Really, really love them. Seriously. That's why I'm here to ask you to take your cat to the vet each and every year. I'm working with Royal Canin and Orphan Kitten Club in their program Mighty Cat, the first grant program in the world to protect and care for newborn kittens. For the Take Your Cat to the Vet initiative, which encourages cat owners across the country to schedule annual vet visits.
Since it's tricky to decode our cat's behavior, it's super important to collaborate with your veterinarian to uncover any potential illnesses and learn the signs that something could be wrong.
As pet owners, it's our responsibility to make sure cats of all ages have a chance to live a full and happy life by providing the care they need and deserve.
Visit orphankittenclub.org/mightycat to learn more.
There's never been a better time to switch to Spectrum. Spectrum Internet offers speed and reliability, while advanced Wi-Fi gives you best-in-class security for all your connected devices. And Spectrum Mobile delivers unlimited talk, text, and data with nationwide 5G included. Switch now and get Spectrum Internet for $49.99, plus advanced Wi-Fi and one Spectrum Mobile Unlimited line free for 12 months. Start saving today. Visit Spectrum.com, a Spectrum store, or scan to call now.
What did you need money for, and why did you contact him?
Money hungry. A loan left a friend hot under the collar.
Did you ask her for the money?
Numerous times. She said she didn't have it.
I had given him collateral, though.
What did you do with it?
I sold it. Then she was the one feeling burned.
It's your claim that he was angry with you and that he vandalized your car by setting it on fire.
Next, Judge Judy.
Tuesday afternoon at 4.
Pros That Know, brought to you by Northfield Retirement Communities.
And good evening. We got a lot to talk about in our weather, so let's go ahead and get started. Heading over to southeast Wyoming, we have a high wind warning that continues until 11 a.m. Tuesday. We'll be seeing some high winds as we head through the overnight hours of tonight in our most wind-prone areas of southeast Wyoming, including much of Platte County as well. Could see winds out of the west up to 60 miles an hour at times for our gusts, so be prepared for that if you are traveling along I-25 from Cheyenne to Wheatland. We do have a winter weather advisory for the western Wind River mountain range until Wednesday morning. We'll be seeing that heavy mountain snow impacting those areas, so be prepared for that if you are in that region. As we take a look at our satellite and radar, we have plenty going on in several areas from far northeast Wyoming down into the Nebraska Panhandle. We're going to actually zoom on in here into parts of Nebraska. We got some heavy snow that's just been sticking around all evening across the area, really from Scottsbluff and south and then up through Sidney, Chadron, and Kimball. It's been dealing with some very heavy snow. In fact, earlier near Bridgeport, we had some thunder snow in the area. So that pretty much gives us an indicator that we're seeing some strengthening. And you can see some of those heavy banding occurring just from Kimball to Bridgeport right now, actually. We're seeing some of that slush and snow-covered roads starting to occur in parts of these regions. You got some heavy snow still lining up all the way up through Sheridan County down into Alliance. We're seeing some of that heavy snow banding happening. And then we had some heavy snow still falling here near Newcastle right now, but this is moving into South Dakota right now, so that'll be out of there very shortly. Heading into tonight for Cheyenne, we'll be clearing out, looking at a low of 20 degrees. It'll be cold out there, so make sure you bundle up tonight. And for Casper, 21 with clear skies. And it'll feel blustery at times. This will be a little bit breezy at times through the overnight hours. Let's take a look at some of that wind as we head through tonight. And it's going to be pretty gusty out there, especially right along that I-25 corridor, especially from Wheatland or really from Douglas to Cheyenne. We're going to see the strongest winds, but it will be breezy for many of us as we head into the overnight and into the morning hours as well. As we head in through the daytime of Tuesday, it's still going to be pretty breezy for much of us across Wyoming and Nebraska. We'll be seeing some of that gusty wind sticking around as we head through the day. Snow showers taper off. We do start to see those clear skies through the morning hours, but we could see some clouds try to move in during the afternoon. Doesn't look like it stays too long. And of course, we'll be dealing with that mountain snow in the Wind River mountain range. Let's take a look at our extended forecast. Again, sun and clouds mixed for Tuesday and even into Wednesday as well. We'll be on the cool side with a high of 42. We'll be up into the 50s by Wednesday before we cool off again. And heading over to Casper, breezy with some sun and clouds mixed across the area. Looking at highs into the 40s at least through Thursday before a cold front moves through and brings some precip to the area. Heading over to Laramie, we got mostly cloudy skies for the most part. Could see some clearing during the morning hours though. Temperatures will be into the 40s with chances of precipitation making a return toward the end of the week. Stick around as we are going to have a look at sports after the break.
Happy Take and Bake Tuesday! Every Tuesday at Papa Murphy's, you can get any large pizza for just $10.99, which makes Tuesday the best day to bring home all your favorites.
we might have too many favorites.
Order now at Papa Murphy.
Get an 11% rebate on your entire kitchen upgrade at Menards. Clearview cabinetry is flexible by design, so you can go from doors to drawers for storage that works at every stage. With the styles that are so easy to update, you can do it in a snap, meaning you don't have to remodel your space to make it work even better for you. Get Momo White Oak cabinets for $32.89 after 11% rebate.
Save big money at Menards.
Let's let Sam know about something even more urgent than his morning coffee.
Hey, Sam, did you know it's kitten season? Right now, thousands of kittens are in shelters across the nation, and they're in need of love and care. When there are too many kittens in shelters, they aren't able to receive the individual attention they so desperately need. That's where you come in. By fostering a kitten, you can provide the care they need until they're ready to be adopted. If you foster a kitten, even for a week, you'll be giving them a chance to grow up and find families of their very own. What's in it for you? A kitten will fill your home with joy, your movie night with lots of cuddles, and they'll even help your social posts look way cuter too. And if you foster a kitten, you'll be provided with everything you need to care for your furry friend. You just provide the love. Save some tiny lives. Adopt or foster a kitten today. To learn more about how you can make a life-saving difference, visit bestfriends.org/kittens.
Fresh out of Papa Murphy's kitchen, the limited time triple pet pizza.
Actually, it's fresh out of my oven.
Dad, it's just an expression.
Giant, classic, and mini cup pepperoni? Now that is an expression.
Order the triple pep today.
Welcome back to Wyoming News Now at 10. I'm Alex Eisman with tonight's sports. Talia Morris just keeps on making history in the state of Wyoming. She won 3 events at the indoor track state meet, set 2 new state records, and helped the Lady T-Birds win their first team title since 2012. The offseason leading up to this meet was a difficult one for Morris, who is recovering from ankle surgery, but it makes this performance mean that much more.
It's been a really long road. Really long recovery, because once I got healed last year, I had to get another one this summer. So it's just, I'm finally like here. I feel like A+. Like my body's never felt better than like right now. So it feels phenomenal now, but I could tell you getting here was really hard. Just mentally draining.
The hard work Morris has always put in showed in Gillette, to say the least. On Friday, she broke an 11-year-old record in the 200-meter dash, running a 25:11 in the prelims. And she would go on to run the same exact time in the finals to win. Then on Saturday in the long jump, she broke her own state record she set last year with a 19-foot, 6.5-inch try, while also winning the 55-meter dash once again. She won those 3 same events last year, was able to defend all 3 of them this past weekend. Morris also won the 55-meter her freshman year to give her a grand total of 7 indoor championships in her career. Let's hear from her again on the record-setting showings.
I was really excited because my 200 earlier on in the season was really fast. It was like 25:20, so I knew it was a possibility that I could break it at state depending on how I feel, how my body feels, you know, and just where I'm at. And I just kind of sat in my blocks and I just went for it. And I wasn't able to jump my finals, so in my first jump I jumped in 18.8. So I was like, okay, like I'm not so scared anymore. I was just really nervous, really high adrenaline, and the first jump is always just like got on the board, got a mark, I'm doing good. And then my second jump was pretty big. It was 19.3, so I broke my record with my second jump. And then on my third jump, I was like, I have nothing to lose, I have all to gain, you know, just I want to pop a big jump, and I jumped in 19.6.
Congratulations to Talia Morris on her prolonged success. She is this week's Prep Athlete of the Week. And speaking of success at the state meet, Maggie Madsen completely tore up the distance event in Gillette. Madsen is just a freshman, but in her first go-round at indoor, she took home 3 individual titles. Another huge reason why the Lady T-Birds were able to capture the team crown. For her, it was all about maintaining pace and picking the right moments to hit the gas.
For the 2 mile, that's like my favorite race. And for that, it's just like a slower pace, and I was just trying to just my coach didn't want me to wear myself out for my other event, so I was just trying to go fast enough to win it. But I really enjoyed that one. And then for the 800, I knew it was gonna be close, and that the end stretch where it was really close, I just knew that I wanted to win it, and I just sprinted all out.
If last weekend was any indication, Madsen will be a problem for a long time at these meets. As she said, the 800 was very close, but she dug deep to take the top spot by 0.03 of a second. The mile and 2 mile races, she distanced herself from the pack much more. Nearly 7-second margin of victory in the former, 23-second in the latter. Madsen also set a couple new personal bests with her 2:21.70 800 time and 5:14.01 mile. And now all she wants to do is keep building that momentum going into the outdoor season.
I'd like to just keep working hard and try to progress even further off of how I've done and get even better times and PR and more events.
Congratulations to Maggie. It sure seems like we'll be seeing a lot more of her over the next 4 years. She'll be running at the New Balance Indoor Nationals this weekend, so wishing her all the best with that. Congratulations to the Lady T-Birds team as well for their championship. That's their 3rd overall. We'll get to hear from some more champs from the state meet later this week, but that's all the time we have for tonight. Be sure to stick around for one last look at weather after the break. Rest up, Wyoming. We'll catch you tomorrow.
If you or a loved one has mesothelioma or been diagnosed with another asbestos-related cancer, call now. An estimated $30 billion in court-ordered trusts have been set aside to pay out claims to asbestos victims. You may be able to receive compensation without ever going to court or filing a lawsuit. Thousands of hardworking men and women have been diagnosed with mesothelioma because manufacturers put profits ahead of safety. Manufacturers knew the risks of asbestos exposure for years, but knowingly manufactured and sold deadly asbestos-containing materials, putting millions of American workers at risk. These manufacturers have tried to avoid compensating their victims, but the courts have ordered them to set aside an estimated $30 billion in trust money for the victims of asbestos. Call now to see if you're entitled to a portion of the $30 billion. You could receive compensation without filing a lawsuit or going to court.
Call 800-700-4989 now for a free legal consultation. Again, that's 800-700-4989.
NetCredit is here to say yes to a personal loan or line of credit, even when other lenders won't. Apply online in minutes and get funds deposited the next business day or sooner. Go to netcredit.com. NetCredit. Credit to the people.
Hi, I'm Diana. As a veteran, I know that for many servicemen and women, the battle doesn't always end when they come home. Because I too struggle with the invisible wounds of service. Thankfully, I found American Humane's Pups for Patriots program, which brought Sam into my life. Before being paired with Sam, I didn't get out of bed for most days. Pups for Patriots and Sam literally changed my life. Now I'm able to go to the store without having a panic attack. I'm finally able to live my life the way I want to live it. Pups for Patriots provides trained service dogs to veterans like me at no cost. If you're a veteran or know a veteran struggling with post-traumatic stress or traumatic brain injury, please go to AmericanHumane.org to learn about their Pups for Patriots service dog program. Let's give our veterans a fighting chance.
Look at our forecast for Cheyenne. We'll be seeing some sun and clouds mixed heading into Tuesday. We'll start off the day with some sunshine, but we'll see some clouds trying to fill on in. Looking at high of 42, a little bit more cloud cover for our Wednesday. And heading into Casper, sun and clouds for you for Tuesday, but it will be breezy at times. We'll be seeing a high of 47 with some mix of sun and clouds on Wednesday and Thursday, with temperatures sticking around into the 40s for a cold front moves through, with sunshine on Tuesday for Riverton.
starboard means right. And if loving wild-caught 2-for-$6 crispy fish sandwiches is wrong, Arby's doesn't want to be starboard. Arby's, we have the meat.
Millions are turning to Tamron. Because she gets people to feel free and be themselves. There's only one place in daytime to feel this free. Tamron Hall.
Weekdays at 2. Everyone who has ever lived has lived here. All of mankind's triumphs and failures. Every moment, every hometown, all here. We start our coverage on the ground and take it to the airwaves, so you always know what's happening in your own world and beyond. We are free TV and radio. We are breaking news. We are always there. We are broadcasters.